Well, we are joined today by Yashan Wu. She is the owner of Unboxed Customs and the director of Happy Feet. We're going to get around to Happy Feet in just a little bit. I want to know, first of all, how this business of yours started.
Yeah, so we started midst of the pandemic, like many other businesses, and it kind of went from my partner telling me, you have all this like creativity and all this artistic, knowledge of what you can bring to the world. Why not try something at it? And he owned his own business too, so I said, like he's proof of, he's proof. So I said, okay, let's give it a try. I didn't really think it was going to work, and 5 years later, here we are.
Tell us a little bit about this business and what you do.
Yeah, for sure. So Unboxed Customs is a custom footwear business where clients come to me and say, this is a blank shoe I have, or this is a pre-chosen design, and I really want you to add certain elements to it. And then there's different colors and designs and patterns I'm able to implement with paint and different textures and textiles. And then from there, the shoe is produced, and that's truly the whole guts of how the business is.
Now, these aren't just like simple shoes. When I was looking at all of the designs that you have created, these are absolutely stunning. These are pieces of artwork, and now people are wearing them on their feet. Share
Yeah.
a little bit more about the inspiration behind each and every single one of these pairs.
Yeah, so there's usually, I guess, like three ways you can kind of go about it. There's like a preset design, usually on a website that they can order, and they come to me and this is what I want. And, or sometimes it's like a snippet from Google or something. And then the second way is they have no idea what they want, and we kind of like template together a mock up of what they are really wanting. It could be like memorabilia of a family member who's passed away, or a tribute to their favorite singer or something like that. And then the second way is they tell me certain things they like that are kind of from existing shoes, and then we piece together a shoe together like a puzzle.
So basically, you can almost do anything on these shoes.
Yeah, literally anything.
Now, this business is not just a small business, it's grown since you started it. Share a little bit more about that and how it's not just in Canada anymore, like it's spread worldwide.
Yeah, for sure. To me, it still feels like a really small thing, and I guess that comes with being part of it. I am, self like owner of it, and I'm the only person who runs this by myself. And oftentimes, when I see the way we've grown, because for after the website launched, we started getting more clients globally. We've ended up in Australia, Germany, and it still flabbergastes me to this day that I'm like, oh, like we're all over the place.
And it's just painting on shoes. Well, not just painting. This is beautiful artwork. Now, speaking of that beautiful artwork, how long does a pair of shoes? I mean, obviously, it's going to vary from design to design, but what's the average time that it takes you to finish one pair of these shoes?
That's a great question. I would say average takes about an hour and a half. Some of the more complex one could take anywhere up to like 6 hours. And then the really fast ones that I've gotten really good at take anywhere between like 20 to 30 minutes.
Now, I have a question myself that I've been trying to figure out, and I'm watching videos. I'm looking at your website. What do you do to keep these shoes like it's painting on shoes? How do you do this? Do you use a special kind of paint that actually will stay on these shoes and like it just looks so nice? How do how do what I'm trying to say is like what are you using to make it look so amazing?
Yeah, for sure. So the process is kind of like it's like a sandwich method. So the first part is you use 100% acetone, which is an acid that removes the factory finish that usually Nike or its partners or Adidas like puts on. So the paint doesn't come off from theirs. I remove that, and it's called deglazing. And then afterwards, you have to use 100% leather paint that's usually imported from, like Europe or something. And from there, then the painting process goes on, and it's a bunch of layering, and then finally you need another finisher. So you're putting back what you took off of Nike, and you're slathering it, and that's what kind of protects the paint from creasing, ripping off, rain damage and all that.
That's very cool. And I love that this is only an hour. These are very intricate designs.
Yeah.
Now you've got something called Happy Feet. It
Yes.
is a very cool initiative. Tell us about this and where the inspiration for this initiative came from.
So I would say let's start with the inspiration. 2025 came, and I thought I should maybe do something philanthropic and give back to more of the community. And you know, adult shoes are quite pricey. And when I was, going through all these charities, and I was thinking, you know what? I've heard the Dream Factor through like the grapevine, and during one of our classes for marketing, we needed to do something like a social impact. So I, thought two birds, one stone, and From there, I told my group members, and they were like, oh, "Such a good idea." And I was like, "Okay, what can we do? Like, we need to give something back to them." And I just thought we need to reach out to a company that's willing to do kind of anything. And I'm like, "Oh wait, I own the company. Why not just like have me introduce it?" And that's kind of where it stemmed off of.
So tell us a little bit more about this initiative and what you will be doing.
Yeah. So the initiative is basically we're trying to raise anywhere between $2,000 to 2,500 to create the funds to be able to buy the shoes, and then later on I would supply the paint and everything and do a design process of what each kid from the Dream Factory. So the Dream Factory is essentially they're kind of like Make a Wish kids, but Make a Dream kids, and these kids are struggling and dealing with these really like life-threatening illnesses that just need a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. So what I've decided to do is really connect with one of them with the Dream Factory and find out what they really like, whether it's Buzz Lightyear, if it's, the Winnipeg Jets, if it's pizzas and burgers. I'm putting it on the shoes to kind of spark a little joy at the end for them.
How does that make you feel knowing that this pair of shoes may, bring that joy, that spark that you just mentioned?
Weirdly enough, I'm happy for them, and I feel quite literally nothing for myself where I'm like, "Oh, I feel like such a good person." I feel none of that. I just want to make sure they get the best end result like possible.
So when is this all happening? There's a GoFundMe that's been set up. Have you raised enough funds yet to get this going?
Yeah, for sure. So we've decided to do a batch of 15, 15, 15, and then like eventually to the finish. So the first batch is coming on April 4th, and we've raised almost enough money to do the complete 50 pairs before the end of June-ish.
That's exciting. And
Mhm.
have you got all the designs for these first 50 pair yet? Have you found the kids for these yet? How does that work?
So, uh, with the 15 batch per, they give me the names and kind of their interest and their age range and what they really like. And then from there, I kind of just design as I go, whatever comes to my mind and whatever like feels really good.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
For listeners that may want to help out and want to be a part of this, can they still donate towards this?
Oh, absolutely. We have the GoFundMe still up. If you just search up like Happy Feet by Yashan Wu, Yashan, and then last name WU, it should be the first one that comes up. Thank you for the shameless plug.
Yes, for sure. What is up next for you? Besides this, do you have anything else exciting going on? I know you have a partnership with the Sea Bears. Anything else exciting?
Honestly, I've been really enjoying this philanthropic action towards stuff like this. So I'm thinking maybe next year we do something more around truth and reconciliation and with more of an Aboriginal owned company or organization. And then hopefully more hospitals reach out and I continue to do what I'm doing today.
And if anyone's interested in learning more about your business or, hey, they want to buy a pair of the shoes, how do they go about doing that?
More than welcome to order straight off the website. And then you're always welcome to message me on Instagram. I'm pretty active on there. So website is just unboxedcustoms.com. And uh, again, the Instagram is just Unboxed Customs as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.